to the RC Store. My name's Ammo. Guys, look what we got on the desk today. This is the Primal Raminator. Now guys, there hasn't been a lot of content across our channel with this. This rig I've probably owned about 4 or 5 years now. This is the V2 edition of the Raminator, and I believe I was one of the first in the UK to pick one up when the V2 was released. It's been sat in the workshop for a while, and I'll explain why. Now, every time I've taken this car out, there's always been an issue with it. The main problem with this truck, it's underpowered. A lot of you guys have probably seen it. It is underpowered, and I thought to myself, I do want to get this going faster. Now, it wasn't more about the speed. I just wanted a bit more torque, you know, just so it can do a few more tricks. It can do what monster trucks are supposed to do, wheelie up in the air, etc. And this does not do it. So I was on the fence with what to do with this, and originally I was going to go for a brushless conversion. I had it sitting here for a while, thought about it, and I thought if I do a brushless conversion on this, it sort of takes the element away of the Raminator itself. The whole experience of this truck is the noise, the smell of petrol, and the whole shabam, everything all together. It just makes it such an experience. It's taken a bit of a while and a bit of a wait for me to get to this stage. It has been left on the back burner, to be fair, so it's my fault. However, in this video, guys, this is getting upgraded. Now, we've got loads of upgrades to go on here, and the first thing first that we're going to upgrade on this is the engine. Now, I've gone for a colossal of an engine. I've got it sitting right here. I'll show you exactly what it is. Yes. This beast is going in this, and this is going to be epic. No, I'm joking. This is just a 36cc. I'll show you what's really going in. And this is what's going in, guys. This is a Taylor RC Supreme 80 that's dropping into this. Now, the reason why I pulled this out was just to show you guys the actual size difference of the engine. So that's a 36cc engine. This is an 80cc engine. What comes factory in the Raminator is a 50cc. So this thing is going to make this an absolute weapon. We do have an upgraded exhaust system for this. We do have an additional silencer for this. We do have a wheelie bar to go on. And another thing that this truck was causing me issues with was the rear servo saver was a bit loose, and I always found the back end tracking its own sort of self, and it was quite loose. So I need to tighten that up, stick all this in, and see how we get on. So in this video, guys, it's a full tear down. We're going to rip this down and get all of this in. Now, I know I'm going to go through a few issues, because when I brought the Raminator, there was a few problems that I had, and I know some of them problems are still going to be lurking, which is from factory, the bolts came with too much Loctite on them. So I know I'm going to end up chewing some bolts up, breaking some studs. It's going to be quite painful. However, I have got a brand new nut and bolt kit for this. I have got everything I can physically need to get this build done without being interrupted. So without further ado, guys, let's get stuck into this. So guys, I've got the truck up on the work stand. What we're going to do is start by undoing these two bolts. Once we open these, this will basically give us access to where the chain sits. We expose that, and then we're going to go through and start undoing all the nuts and bolts. I believe this case needs to come off itself. Once that comes off, there's a couple of bolts for the engine itself. I know there's some underneath. I've not taken this engine out before, so I'm going to go through all the rigmarole, get through this, and start replacing the engine. The exhaust has got to come off. There's so many bits that are going to be removed, and new bits, obviously, that are going to go in. I know already I'm going to have issues taking these bolts off. Simple reason being, I know they've been thread locked, and from the factory they're really, really stiff. So guys, let's crack on with this. So guys, I've been on this for about 15 minutes now, and what a pain. I've managed to get one bolt out, which is from the top. This one's completely stuck. I've tried some heat on it, it's not happening. This one's stuck. I've tried some heat on that, it's not happening. This one's just about come out. I am using an Ugga Dugga on here. Guys, This is the part that I was not looking forward to, and unfortunately I'm going to have to go through the motion. I'm going to have to work this out and try and get these bolts out somehow in order to get this engine out. So bear with me. I could record the whole process, but yeah, I think I'm going to be here for a couple of days, guys. So I'm literally just going to try and get all of these out and off camera, and then I'll put the camera back on when I get onto the next step. After a lot of heating this up, I've managed to undo the bolts. Yeah, what a faff. I had to use some extreme heat on this, and I heated it up for about 5 minutes, and literally, yeah, it was a nightmare. I used an dogger. I tried everything and nothing was removing them bolts. So I applied a lot of heat and that's all off. I've taken them 2 bolts out, them 2 are out, that one and that one's out. Next step is I'm going to remove the bearings. I'm going to remove this C-clip. I'm going to take the sprockets and chain off, remove that, put that to a side, and then work on to the next step. So guys, you can probably see tools absolutely everywhere here. What a nightmare it's been. I used a huge blowtorch to get most of these bolts out. Anyway, got there in the end. I've taken the faceplate off. Now, after removing the faceplate, we need to remove this, which gives us access to the clutch. You can see the transmission just there. All the gears look perfectly fine. Like I said, this truck ain't had much use, to be fair. So, it's a bit of a shame. All this will need to be transferred over, as in the gears, etc. So the gears will be coming off and getting put to the new housing, but we need to get this engine out now. So I've got this far, and I think the next steps are going to be is remove the exhaust pipe, get that out of the way, take off some of the ancillaries like the air filter, just to make life a bit easier. And once I'm at that stage, I think there's another bolt just there underneath there and one on the other side, and the engine should come out theoretically. Let's give it a blast. Tools absolutely everywhere, as you can see. Yeah, guys, we've got the engine out. So I had a bit of a bother with the transmission case. Basically, the transmission that sits that way underneath the engine is actually bolted. You got 2 bars that come out of here that will go across. Now, they were all unbolted on this side. I had to take them out on this side because they run through to the other side, and they've got bolts that goes from underneath on each side into the engine, and you can't get to them. So the best thing for me to do was remove the bolts from there and there from the back side, and then take that whole bar out in situ. So the bar looks like this. Pull that out in situ, and you can probably see it over here. If I tip this, there you can see it, and there you can see the 2 bolts underneath, and they were hard to get to. So I've managed to get that out. And next step is now giving this a bit of a clean, which I need to do regardless, and figuring out how the new block goes in. So guys, I've been wrenching away and we've made progress. So I've got the block in there. I've fitted the new engine mounting, which is just over here, as you can see. That's in. There's another engine mount that sits along the other side somewhere. Well, it's hard to see, it's all the way down there at the bottom. I'll probably get it from this angle. It's literally just that one there, so I've had to put that aluminium block on, and that's the other engine mount. Excuse the mess, it is a bit dirty here. I've got a lot of cleaning to do after this. However, the block is pretty much in. The gearbox is back in. It's all mounted up. I've put the 4 bolts in on this side to hold the gearbox in place. These 2 bolts are in, not permanently, just temporarily. I need to take them out, thread lock them, some Loctite, pop them back in. And then the next step would be is to fit the chain, etc. back on. Once the chains, etc. is all back on and fitted, I am going to basically lift this engine up straight in situ like that. Put the faceplate back on, which is that red one just there. Once that's back on, I can start basically putting all the bolts back in and building it all up, pull the auxiliaries on. I can then probably mess around with the exhaust pipe, put the exhaust pipe in. I do have to raise the petrol tank. As you can see, it's just about hitting the carb. No chance for an air filter to go on as it is like that. So I need to raise the tank a little. So I'll do that. And let's see how we get on, guys. It's getting there. Almost. Right, guys, load's still going on. I'm still bolting all these bits up. I've put these bolts in temporarily. I do need to nip them up. I have put these bolts in. The minute I am putting this bolt in, however, it has got a bit of a spacer. So the way this spacer works is basically that, but in between the two plates. So that's going to sit just behind. I've got to just feed it in just to make sure I line all the bolts up. So if I do this one first, guys, I've managed to put the chain on. I put the sprockets on. I've put the C-clips back on there and there. So they're all on. I do need to change these mounts, to be fair. They're actually broken. They're just body posts. To be fair, they don't really do a lot. The body still holds pretty firm and tight without them on. However, I've just put them back on, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace these. I'll probably upgrade these for aluminium ones. So that's something I need to order. However, that's all done. I'm going to go ahead and grease all this up and put the case back on, put that bolt back in over the case and that one there. And then that's that bit all complete. Engine installed. Sweet. Next thing then to do is get the exhaust system in, move the petrol tank slightly higher. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll probably put some spacers or something just here, just to raise that up a bit. Same over on that one there. And then obviously the exhaust system will go in. I'll get all that done and report back to you guys once I've done that. There's also a few other things that I want to do. The suspension, I need to obviously set this up. It's a bit stiff at the minute because it's got twin shocks. What I'm probably going to do is get rid of some set of springs and just keep two shocks, but one with springs and the other just as a dampener. So that I'm probably going to do that as well. I need to tighten the rear servo saver over on the back, which I will do. But guys, yeah, let me crack on with this and I'll report back in a second. So guys, I've managed to put the exhaust system on. However, I've not put the retaining springs in just yet. I am waiting for the O-rings that sit in the manifold just here. So I've ordered them from thercstore. I'm just waiting for them to arrive. And once they arrive, I can take the manifold off, put them two rubber O-rings in, and basically put these springs back on and then connect them springs up as well. The silencer pipe has been fitted, which as you can see just sort of sits in place, and you've got your exhaust system over on that side. It is very tight to put fuel in, but that's the way this has been designed. And I have taken the springs off on the suspension there, so you can see that that's just acting as a dampener, and that's the suspension, and same across all four corners. Next step, guys, right, I've done the throttle cable. Throttle cable's all in. I have got to loom up these cables. These are for the kill switch, so I'm just going to loom them up, make them look tidy, run them across around the back neatly, and connect them into this box. You can already see another kill switch there. That's from the original engine, so I could have used that one technically, but it is what it is. I'll wire this one in, get that done and out the way, and then I think the next step is going to be putting the wheelie bar on. Now the issue with the wheelie bar is if you've got dual shocks, it's not really designed for dual shocks. What happens is this back shock might sit on a bit of an angle, but nevertheless I think it's important to have the wheelie bar on. So I'm going to put the wheelie bar on, get that done as well, and let's see how we get on. We're getting so close to getting this thing completed, guys. It's getting exciting. So just working on connecting the wheelie bar, guys. I've put the wheelie bar on. And this is what I meant by the actual standoffs have got to be put over the top, as you can see, where that one is on the actual base plate itself. The wheelie bar sits behind this, so it does ever so slightly bring the rear shock slightly out. Doesn't make much of a difference, to be fair. As you can see, it is a bit of a tight fit, but yeah, I've got that on. I'm going to roll over, do the other side, and that's the wheelie bar then complete. And then I'm pretty much there. Like I said, I just got to tie this loom up, and yeah, we're pretty much done. Oh guys, what a mammoth of a task. We've absolutely smashed it. The Taylor Supreme 80 is now in the Raminator. The wheelie bar's on. The exhaust system's all fitted. I am waiting on 2 rubber washers, like I said, for the exhaust, and then I can fire it up and get it out there. The silencer's on there. Guys, the suspension modification's been done. So it's not as stiff as it was previously. So if you've seen it in previous videos, as we made headway with it, it used to bounce hell of a lot. That's because of the dual suspension setup was quite stiff. Now we've gone for a softer setup, so it should be absolutely fantastic. Now everything's pretty much done, like I said. All the electronics are wired. Guys, this is ready to go out and basically hit its first run. However, like I said, I'm waiting for the rubber washers. Once they turn up in the next video, guys, that we do with the Raminator, I will get this beast out on a field and let's see if we can put this wheelie bar into some use, and let's see how great this is going to be. Guys, if you've enjoyed this content, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that notification button. I do apologize, it has been quite a lengthy video. I did try and shorten it down as much as I could, but I wanted to show you guys that we're finally upgrading the Raminator. Guys, we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching.